of our, while we was going through this bullshit. So now, they got his ass. And you got him. He done fessed up and owned up to all the dirt he did. That's that shit gangster. Cause ain't no way. But you can't lie to the Galactic Council because they know everything. Because all they got to do is download the Akashic records into a hologram projector, and it's gonna tell them who did what dirt. But he owned up to it. He didn't buckle or shake. None of that shit. He was like, "Yep, I did that shit. I'm gonna do it again as soon as I get out of prison." In another 100 trillion years or however long they keep his ass there. But he's been resigned to a prison planet, and Ninurta, another one of his sons, he had left here. He should have left when Marduk left, because Marduk didn't ever want to be here in the first goddamn place. But Ninurta dumbass stayed. They about to get his ass. Enki been sent to get him. 11/10/2007. Ooh, that was a good birthday for me. So that's the news report on the land, y'all. It's an intergalactic news report. The Earth, the Earth Council, but y'all call them white hats. So the white hats was up there with Enki while they was reading off the charges to Enlil, and I believe they watched it holographically in Raven Rock. And I believe that they caught Enlil trying to come back into Earth, but I haven't got that intel cleared yet, because from what I'm seeing, it looks like he's in Area 51 under lock and key. But whatever the case is, it's a done deal for his ass. He's in their custody now, the Galactic Council. But from what I was seeing, remote viewing, it looked exactly like Area 51, but that don't mean it's Area 51, because they got multiple facilities on Earth like Area 51, let alone other places that have similar construction. Marduk went back to where he ruled at. He didn't come in doing dirt. All he did was enforce the rules to the redemption. He was the one who ended up saying, "Look, I don't want no parts of this shit, but if all y'all motherfuckers gonna be blind, deaf, and dumb, I'm just gonna enforce the rules that y'all got already. I'm not gonna make no new rules." So he didn't want to war with Nenegajita and his cousin named Marduk. So you got to remember, it's two of them. One is Enki's son, one Enlil's son. Enlil's son didn't want nothing to do with this shit, but he's following his daddy orders, and Anu commissioned him as one of Enlil's lieutenants. So he was going to come, but he got his own shit to rule. He didn't want to be here. But when we was going into the Kali Yuga, Enlil wasn't going to know who he is, Enki ain't going to know who he is, and none of the rest of us going to know who we are. So one of them had to be able to hide behind the scenes and enforce the rules of the game that was being played for us to awaken. So now they all wrapped up. I don't know where we go from here, but I'm just letting y'all know what's the report on the land. And this one is just so happened to be intergalactic. So sister got a feminine wellness group. The feminine wellness group, I'm gonna have her come in because she just.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Just was sitting up here, got off the line because I had just clicked over on the other on IG and saw that you and Brother Doomer had invited me. I'm not gonna be long, but when I see you go on around the time when the sisters and I are coming together November the 8th. And that's a full moon plus lunar eclipse. So very powerful time, and our theme is imagination, and how important imagination is, because that coincides with us being the visionaries that we are. So all these things that you teach us, that you bring forward, your guests that be on and being like this. This is a time where the sisters come together in our room circle, and all these things just it unfolds. We working on ourselves, working on these issues that we have in here, these things that we supporting Brother Kanye because he right, hell yeah.
Yeah.
and you know, just like you said in a few videos ago, shit, he helped his brother spiritually. Like let's really give him this energy and all of this, you know what I'm saying, to drag these motherfuckers out into the light, you know. So we know what they doing, we know what they been doing. We might can't put our finger on everything, but thank the Most High for you for coming. Excuse me, and I might need some of that too, brother. But I just serviced my excuse me, dang. You just on my tea. Hold on, man. Hold on. This lime, my lime oregano, my garlic, and my ginger.
Yeah, that gets you right there.
I've been on, boy. Breath smell like a dragon, but I don't care.
So the sisters that watching that's just now hearing about the eighth that y'all got playing, can you tell us more about it? Like, how do they contact you to be involved?
They contact us. They contact Sister Patolo, Sister Sanjay, Dot Love. I'll send them the. Okay, baby. Okay, I got you. I'll send them the link. If they need instruction and never actually yoni steam before, then I have a class that our class. I run it all down and so they'll be prepared. And then on the 8th, we come together. I just know my time is 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we all meet up. We bring our journals. We bring our prayers. We bring whatever it is we want to manifest. We bring that beautiful celestial light. We bring our archangels. We bring, and we address these things, and address what need to be done. So, and if anybody got any further healing they need to do, or things that need to be justice service on certain things, or whatever,
What city y'all gonna be in?
We do this online on Zoom. I send the link out to everybody, so they can request the link from me. I probably wasn't clear on that. Thank you. Request the link from me. Or I may ask them to please, if I'm too busy or something at that time, I just direct them where they could go and get the link for the 8th and also for the instruction. And I teach womb yoga most Sundays. And we had a beautiful dance class last Saturday. Sister Ayana, she did this free form, beautiful spiritual, intuitive movement class. It was just beautiful. And the sisters got to express at the end. So it's really a beautiful forum for us. And I invite sisters that do anything creatively. It could be raw food. It could be poetry, songwriting, whatever that is allows us to express in our truest and highest forms. The class is open. Y'all got my Zoom. I paid the thing. That's what it's for. Y'all come in and do your thing. Teach a dance class, whatever it is. You got another type of form of yoga other than womb yoga, come and teach it. Because
we're not who we are when we say that we Blackfoot, we're Saponi, Calabar, Choctaw.
When you use those tribal designations like that, Choctaw, the Dunga Mounja, Washita, Cherokee. Cherokee is also a term that they thrust upon us. Right? It's not the original name. The name Cherokee was specifically created to produce some people that we call reservation invaders, $5 Indians. This is who they was making their contracts with under the pretense that they was making the contracts with us. But when you go to all our elders, they say we never signed treaties with them people. Our people never signed treaties with them. So who in the fuck is this signing the treaties? It's the servants they brought because they fought wars against the Mongols and the Huns. Look at the people when it testify of itself. They fought wars with the Mongols, the Huns, and what we call as the Aryans or Ayurvedic peoples, what we call Hindus. These people became the servants of the Moors in Europe. As prisoners of war, they became part of the bounty that they won. And these were their servants, or as they call them, they pets. And Mama said that nobody should be thrown away like trash. You can't make other human beings your pets. I agree. So when they was telling us the slave stories, what they was leaving out parts is that the big house is Big Mama house. Big Mama always had a big house because she always had a lot of her grandkids, great grandkids, nieces, and nephews all living at the house. When they turned our family dwellings into POW camps, they rebranded them as plantations. They stopped calling us so called Indians and started calling us Negroes, blacks, and colors. But none of those things was actually us. None of this shit in English would have had anything to do with us if we'd have held on to our original languages. But what do? They start murdering us for teaching our children the original tongues. But when you go back off in New Orleans, up in the woods, they still have tribes that speak the original language. Same with Mississippi, backwoods Mississippi. You'll be talking to somebody and they just sound like a good old country boy. Then another country boy get up and it'll sound like they talking Japanese.
You are absolutely right, because I'm from Louisiana.
And I'm like, what the hell is these niggas talking about? I ain't never heard this shit before. They talk in the native tongue that predates the settlers. So our original tradition is the only way to get these people out of here, and that's an oral tradition. When they tell you to fill the paperwork, the paper is the paper chain. The paper chain ties you to a straw man status as a national. We in order for us to not need nationality, we have to rise above nations. Nations are corporate entities created to farm humans. I can't say it no other way. It's a slave system.
And those who clans, they were called clans. They were like, we were clans.
Yeah. So the Europeans' word, first of all, European language was originally a Twa language from the Twa peoples that came as the Orisha that be rebranded as Irish. And the Irish or the Orisha formed two distinct clans. One of them was called Scots, named after Scotta, and the other one was called Irish, named after Orisha, right? The Twa people that settled in the islands. The ones that we call more stronghold is in Switzerland globally. That's why Switzerland is immune to the wars. They infiltrated Switzerland when the last Swiss war, when they fought the French. So all they was doing was staging a war so they could do a mass evacuation and set up a banking system for control in Switzerland.
What about Absalom Jones? I heard you mention him. Was he a dirty?
No. Absalom Jones and Prince Hall was the first of the chiefs on the land that discovered what was being done was they was using our rites of passage against us and weaponized it in the lodges by blocking us out of the institution so we can never develop mentally and psychologically and spiritually enough to know who we are. It was basically the denying us of the knowledge itself, and they was the first, well, two of the first ones on record that actually tried to bring the secrets out of the lodges. And they responsible for these college fraternities as the byproduct of Prince Hall Masons hijacking the system of academia that they was.
Who I was or had heard of me until they contacted me.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And have they been silent ever since? Have they been in the forefront?
Well, that's the rule. Matter of fact, one of them called me. He said, "Brother, I'm not even supposed to be talking to you, but I know who you are, and after all this long wait, I had to see you and talk to you for myself." So he knew who I was even better at that particular point in time than I did. But I was more from the standpoint of I can solve the problem, but the people don't really want the problem solved. They'd rather go along to get along, so I don't want to participate under those conditions. And he told me, he said, I know you're going to fix it, but before you do what you're going to do, before the world see who you is and see you do what you're going to do, he said, I had to call you personally. He said, I've been waiting a long time to finally get to talk to you. So he knew who I was,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I know for a fact that all of these Masonic lodges know who I am. I got too many messages that's coming.
See that? Depending on what you get ready to say, then they break you up. Let's see, y'all. This is fire stuff. This is stuff they don't want out. This is stuff they don't want out. They don't want you to know this stuff.
Masonic lodges very.
All right. Okay. Okay. Watch yourself, y'all. In the chat. Be respectful. Be respectful. Okay. So anyway, where were we? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, you were talking about. I forgot what you were. Oh, there you go again. All right. For the most part, y'all are being respectful. A couple of you are being not respectful, but we always gonna have to have both sides on here. You just gotta be respectful in your disagreement. So far so good. Or at least I missed your comment if it was absolutely out of pocket. Let me see. All right. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the speed because you're on your phone, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes the speed and all this being on all this long, the speed is a factor, so it slows you down. Plus, I'm pretty sure that they throw in some monkey wrenches in there because they don't
Yeah,
want.
because I sure was saying that the Masonic lodges know who I am.
Right.
And they didn't made it clear that they knew that I was here and that I was coming to clean this shit up. And they've told other people who've in turn come back and asked me, is it true?
Really?
Yeah. And those are card carrying Masonic brothers of good standing in the lodge with a good reputation among the brothers of the lodge and the people in the community who've been in the community being active workers in the community. So I know they know what they're talking about because other than listening to my videos, and I don't be talking a whole lot of Masonic stuff, but I'm they dread.
Okay.
All of the ones that corrupted the lodges, because the lodges used to be rites of passage programs for the princes to learn how to rule and govern the people on the land, and it were all used and weaponized against us by some slimy, dirty, underhand players from the back rooms. As Farrakhan say, a few of you in a few smoke-filled rooms making decisions while the mainstream of the masses, poor, black, white, red, yellow, and brown, are suffering in this nation. Them the ones who know who I am that don't want me to be here. But it ain't nothing they could do about it because I'm protected by forces beyond their reach. So I don't care. I walk down the street like a regular person because to me, I'm just a regular person. Not until somebody asks me the questions about the redemption of the community and the information come out that they find out this ain't no regular motherfucker right here. There's something strange and different about him because he know what's going on and he's doing something about it. And he don't care what we think. That's the problem. I don't care what the people who's in adverse think for one reason. They don't know what I know. And
True.
if they don't know what I know, and I say, okay, well, since you think I'm wrong, I'm going to quit. Then we ain't going to never get nowhere. Right? So I'm going to keep telling the truth. I'm going to keep pointing at these dirty, dirty players until they all get drug out in the open. But we already at end game now. See, Big Mama gave me a mission that as soon as I got done with the mission Big Mama gave me, you called me. That's not a coincidence. That is a coordinated attack from the spirit for us to
Mm-hmm.
do this and to tell the people to update across the land. Big Mama
Absolutely.
sent me on a mission.
That's right. And
My mission was successful because I told her I didn't give a fuck what she needed me to do. If it's gonna fix the problem, if it's digging dog shit with my bare hands to get to the solution, I'm gonna be a digging dog shit scooping ass. Because it's fundamentally wrong and repugnant to who I am to see the people suffering from people being selfish, greedy, naive, and senseless. And if I got good senses, then that take me out of the category of the senseless. And if I ain't naive no more because I see what's going on, that take me out of the category of the naive, which tells me I'm not poor and defenseless, right? Which tells me that I can say something out in the open that contribute to us recovering from this condition that we've been in that's adverse to us as a people. In the Jubilee year, at the close of the age, after the contract been closed a minimum of 3 years, the people shall receive their redemption rights in the public domain. So this becomes a public notice by default from Big Mama saying that she want all her daughters to get their shit. Cause she sent her baby boy in there to get it, and he left no stone unturned. And so now, whoever they is, whatever lodge they hiding in, whatever secret society they under the covers of, whatever back room they dealing in, ain't nowhere to run and ain't nowhere to hide. Cause Big Mama sending them boys, mama's boys, the real ones, to come get your ass, cause we know who all of the dirty players is, because we had enough time to study their moves. It's just chess. Checkmate, motherfuckers. That's how we say it. Big Mama say checkmate. It's over. I'm not gonna leave no stone unturned. Where they all flipped over, ain't none left in the creek. They all on the bank now. So since
yeah,
they all on the bank, we might as well break the bank and bring it on home. So I don't want nothing until all the man got all of theirs. And once they all paid, run man. So I had to go through the process of the refining of the information, the clarification of the misunderstandings, the showing of the misdirections from the David Copperfield show, which your earrings made of copper, to realize that it was just an illusion. And the three sisters talked to the seven sisters, which is a moon flip to a Pleiadian knot, in order to resolve the matter of the Pleiadian light lock that was secured by an Arcturian agreement at the Galactic Council. That we can't get under this shit unless one of us, organics to the earth, figure the solution to the problem by understanding all of the areas of people activity and how to effectuate change. One of us. We don't all have to do it, just one of us. But part of the problem is the one that discovers it now has to be on a Paul Revere ride across the nation. Instead of saying the British is coming, the organics is coming back. They coming back home to serve eviction notice on all of the squatters on the land. That's a knock to Dane Calloway, by the way. Because my cousin, Big Ray, and Ray is the name that they give chiefs. They name him Ray, and they name him Son. And the one that they call Big Papa is called the Big Son because his son is always named after him, and he the little son, or when they call him by his name, whatever his father name is, he the little that.
mm-hmm.
So you got John, which is Uncle Johnny, and his son is Little John, right? So when we know how to read the language, my cousin flipped to me that the life is a game and he who dies with the most toys wins. All you got to do is slow down. You already ain't scared to look in a book to find the solution. Follow that pattern and repeat until you get to the victory lane. My mama said the race don't always go to the swift. Sometimes it go to the slow. So watch the tortoise and the hare. So she flipped me because I always say I'm slow as a turtle. So it's a turtle nation knot. off of a gorilla's back. You can't help it. They got to return everything they fucking took. All we got to do is get the message out to our people that it's over as soon as they do what I was forced to do during this beginning of this stuff. Divorce yourself from the fallen system that you get drugged down with it. Most people can't do that from fear. But Big Mama told me, fret not thyself for evil doers. For years I walked through the valley of the shadow of death, I should fear no evil. Well, I told her, well, not only will I not fear no evil, I will destroy all evil that oppose my ability to impose righteousness across the land. So bring it on if you want to play. I'm a ghetto boys. Make my day. Right? So when we get to the real root of what's going on, I couldn't always tell people what I knew because I needed a way to tell it to them on their own level where they can digest the information and use it to their greatest advantage. The greatest advantage is this process that we are under right now because the sisters started separating themselves from the system July the 4th, and when a sufficient number of them separate, it's over whether the men do it or not because we're going back to matriarchal rules, the children first, family first, and the rest of that shit can take a back seat to hell. We don't want it if it's not benefiting the collective.
I think it's interesting that the movie that's coming out, I don't know whether it's coming out is it before the summer's over or in the fall with the Warrior Queens or whatever. I think it's very interesting.
Actually,
Viola Davis.
I
That
haven't seen that movie, Dr. G.
the
But
trailer.
that's
Well, it's
about
not out. It's not out, but the trailer is like it makes you like yes. You know, it to me is it even puts Black Panther on the back burner because it's like queens. Well, they call them queens, but you know we know what queen means. But it's melanated sisters fighting and destroying, doing exactly. I think it's a metaphor for what needs to happen in the spiritual realm.
Not only is it a metaphor, it's rooted in historical facts.
Right.
Here's a historical fact. When the men couldn't get the job done on the battlefield, the women got the job done. And so just so that people can have a reference to what I'm talking about, research Anne Zingha.
Queen Zinga, yeah.
Research Queen Makita and research the Candace Queens. When they said Alexander conquered the world, when he ran into the Candace Queens, he made a sharp left turn and went into the Indus Valley. He didn't want no parts of that. Right? When the Anzingha brother, the general of the military, kept getting his ass handed to him by the Dutch and the Portuguese, she gave him a final warning before a battle. She said, if you lose this battle, don't come home. I'm going to take over the army and I'm going to show you how victory is won on the battlefield. And he went to go fight the Portuguese and the Dutch. They handed his ass to him. The scout came back that she sent to follow him and said they getting their ass handed to him. As they was in retreat from the battlefield, she passed them on the battlefield going to the fight. She was kicking their ass so bad they wanted to negotiate. But they wanted to humiliate her by making a woman stand up. She got gorillas for bodyguards. We don't play that. You're not going to disrespect this sister. I be her seat. She can sit on me because you ain't going to look down on her in my presence. Right? So the man becomes a proper support, even in a secondary position. You still got to be the proper support for the sisters. And when we can't get the job done, we have to recognize Big Mama got a group of girls that she sent in at the end as the final cleanup crew, and they tear this motherfucker up with the laws of nature. They not finna go fight you with their fists. These are the final. You don't want this part to happen, but you will know if it do, because it's gonna be the most beautiful storms you ever seen, tearing shit up, coast to coast, 360 around the globe. right? It's a hurricane, but it's pink lavender with lace swirl around it. Who's seen that shit before? This how
And
they
that's
do
why
because
they call it what? A hurricane.
but we in the ancient days we used to call it the most beautiful destructions because it'll be a hailstorm, what they call gorilla hailstorm, with fist size hail balls falling, and it might be lightning in purple, green, and lavender tints of electrical bolt in the middle of the storm, and it looks so sweet you don't want to go in, but them hail balls get to hitting you, you can't stay out there, right? But you want to see it, but you know it ain't safe.
Right, right,
That's how
right.
you know when the final wave finally hit, when Big Mama finally turned her big girls loose.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard the saying, put on your big girl panties?
Um, you're breaking up again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Somebody had called in and interrupted my feed.
Okay. Stop calling him.
But you ever heard the term "put on your big girl panties"?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they all
That's when it get
matriarchs.
real. When it get real, you're gonna have to deal with this issue. Yep, you're gonna
Yeah.
have to put your big girl panties on and like
Don't
go
make
out.
them. Don't make them sisters put on their big girl panties. Talking about earthquakes. So when they say put on your big girl panties, this way, it's a certain energy that the women lock on to when they dance and they shaking their hips. It's called the sway of the matriarchs. They can make mockery of it in the Dumbo movie, and you see the elephant swaying back side to side.
Mm-hmm.
I actually posted some sisters doing it in Africa, and they all dressed in blue dresses. I think that's on my Morpheus page, but it might be on my Rod Hayes Facebook because they deleted my other Rod Hayes off Instagram. But the, the dance is a conjure, and it's only to cause earthquakes. And the more of the grand matriarchs, in order to be a grand matriarchs, they had to have a certain amount of prestige as among matriarchs. The men don't rank the matriarchs; they rank each other by most loved, most respected. And the ones who reach the top become Big Mama's representatives, ambassadors to Earth. And when the daughters of Earth is subjugated, they the last line of defense after they send me. And y'all don't want them sisters to come out because when them earthquakes hit, they don't just shake local areas, they shake land masses. So I got videos already in past where I was talking about the women in the marching of the matriarchs. The March of the Mayors is a 50 sisters conjure that was done in order to ensure that they can't lose. Once they done that, it was over with. It's just a matter of the magnitude of the events is going to cause a certain amount of time for it to come from spirit to physical because a global change is so huge. The minimum amount of time on the turnaround is 3 years. And that's why when we close the contract out July the 4th, 2019, it took 3 years for the women to decide to begin a migration away from the old systems around the world. What we don't know in America, and the mainstream media is never going to cover it, is they still watching what's known as the Soviet uh, Republic of China, the SRP. They not in power. The Republic of China, ran by the matriarchs, took over 3 years ago, and I had posted it when it happened.